Hi everyone. I'd like to share with you today something God's been saying to me about being effective in prayer. A few weeks ago, a friend of mine rang to say she'd been watching a film called Hope Gap, which was set in Seaford. The film was about an elderly couple whose marriage was breaking down because of lack of communication and wrong expectations. God showed me through this that when we come to pray, very often we don't see results for the same two reasons. We don't communicate with God properly and we have wrong expectations of Him. Although we know God can do everything, we assume that He will. And we assume that we know what He'll do in each situation. We ask God to solve the situation, almost like a plumber pulling out a tool from his tool bag. The right one at the right time, and we think we know which one he ought to be using. But actually, the Bible gives us two verses which tells us the most effective way to pray. The first verse is, "Be still and know that I am God." It's in the stillness that we suddenly realise that God is God, where we encounter Him, where we commune with Him, where we feel His presence, where we get saturated by Him, filled with Him. And the second verse is, "Delight yourselves in the Lord, and He'll give you the desires of your heart." When we delight ourselves in God, when we're saturated with Him, He then gives us His desires. And those desires always come to fruition. As a child, I was taught a very simple rhyme, and I'd like to share that with you today, which I think may help in the way that we should go forward in resting in God. And it's this. A wise old owl told me one day, the more he saw, the less he'd say. The less he said, the more he heard. Wasn't that owl a wise old bird? And I think that's something that we can do today as we come before God with all the things that we've seen and all the things that we know. We rest in God. We don't say anything, but we rest in the silence and wait for God to come. And then we will hear His voice more clearly, and we will know then how to pray. God bless you today.